Okay, so I am going to start the journey tomorrow. I have so much anxiety build up about this, so much anxiety. But it seems as if I'm being, you know, um, forced to start this process tomorrow. So my soul is doing the forcing, and I'm gonna start it tomorrow. So I made up a schedule, and this is my schedule. So what I'm gonna do is, how can I show this schedule? Let's see. Maybe turn it this way. Yeah, okay. So I just labeled this breatharian. So what I'm gonna do is, tomorrow is, today's Thursday, so tomorrow's Friday, and I'll just start with fruit. I've got some fruit that I've gotten, just some fruit. But what I wanted to say was that if anybody ever decides to come across these videos, it could be months from now, but whatever the case may be, if anybody does come across these videos and you guys are starting a journey, you have to realize that if you've been on a standard American diet, you're toxic. Very, very toxic. And I am not on a standard American diet. I've been eating very healthy for 6 years now. And I just have a problem with my colon, and I am now toxic. So what I am going to do, because I still have a very healthy diet or weight that I eat, I still have issues with it's leaky gut, and that's why I'm toxic. So I'm going to do the same thing as if I was on a standard American diet. But what I suggest, if anybody comes across this, you need to go through the process of becoming a vegetarian to veganism, raw veganism, fruitarianism, liquidarian, and then you can do the water and then dry fast. That's what the process that you're going to take yourself through to get rid of the toxins. Toxins can kill you. Toxins will kill you if you jump into something like this too fast. And then if you're very impulsive, like I am, but this time around I've got control over it. I have no choice. You can kill yourself. Coming off of a dry fast and then you decide to eat, you can die. So you have to be very mindful. You have to be careful. So make sure you're guided to do this journey, okay? So this is what I'm going to do. Fruit from here to here, and I'm going to speed up this process by helping my body detoxify. So I'm going to do during all of this time right here, I'm going to do some heavy metal cleansing. Every other day, heavy metal cleansing. Every other day, an enema. Every other day, I'm going to sit in the sauna. So I'm going to help my body get rid of the toxins very fast, right? Then here I'm going to start the smoothies. From here to here, start smoothies. From here to here, I'm jumping into this pretty rapidly. From here to here is going to be just liquids, tea, very thin broths, and water, tea. I do not like water fast. Water fast drive me crazy. Water fast keeps me hungry. I prefer dry fasting. I love dry fasting. So if ever I decide that this is too tedious for me and it's driving me crazy, I will speed it up and I will just increase my detoxification, the external detoxification portion of this journey. And that's what I'm thinking about doing, because this seems like very tedious to me. I just want to get it in and get to the point where I'm dry fasting, start focusing on my mind and doing those duties that I need to do to stay in the mode of dry fasting. So this is it. This is it in a nutshell. And yeah, so I don't know what else to say. Let's see. So yeah, so I just know that I'm very anxious. my card. I'm very anxious. I am ready to get in. I'm ready to get in. I'm ready to jump in. I just worry about being compulsive. Like I mentioned before, I'm very compulsive. When you, excuse me, when you're on a journey like this and you get sidetracked or you get distractions, my initial reaction, especially when I get emotional, is to eat. And that's my concern. When you're on a journey like this and you've been, if you're not eating for a couple of weeks or maybe even a month or so, and you get emotional, what do? You automatically go to food. And what I was going to do, I was going to clean out my cabinets. I do that every time I have a fast or water fast or whatever type of fast I'm doing. I always clean out my fridge and I clean out my cabinets, because I know that if I get distracted or if I get very emotional, something makes me angry, then I'm going to go straight to the refrigerator and straight to the cabinets. But this time around, I'm not going to do that. I have to force myself to figure this out and not be impulsive. This time around, I have to do it differently. Typically, if you're starting on a fast and you know yourself, you set yourself up for success by removing all the things, removing all the temptations. But this time around, it has to be different. I have to have the temptations there, and I have to force myself to face why it is that when I get emotional, I run straight to the cabinets, or when I get distracted, I run straight to the cabinets and forget that I'm fasting. Why does that happen? So I'm going to force myself to look at why that is and keep the food where it is. Because I was going to show on camera that I was going to throw everything away. And I said I do this on a regular basis and it still hasn't helped me. So maybe there's something behind the reasons why I am impulsive, and I know that there is. And I need to leave the food there so I can see why it is that I am impulsive, why it is that I decide to run and self-sabotage myself on a regular basis if there's food there. So I think the thing is to face it right now, because I did that for 6 years, clean out my cabinets, get prepared for a fast. And if something is in there, I'm going to eat it if I get mad or distracted. This time around it's different. And I've got to work on why that is. So I have to face it. Keep the food there. It's not much. I don't have much food in there. Not much at all. But it's like, seasonings, and there's little veggie wraps and coconut wraps and stuff like that, The only thing I have in the refrigerator is kimchi and that's it. And seasonings, what is it called? Condiments, like organic ketchup, vegan mayo, stuff like that. So I don't have nothing in the refrigerator per se, except for what my dad is visiting, except for what he eats. But the cabinets is where majority of the stuff is. Like I have sesame seeds, I've got some nuts and things like that, maybe some olives. I got pickles in there. That's what I got in there. So leave the food there. Hit this head on when I am faced with temptation. Fight through it. When I am faced with bad news and I get emotional and I want comfort, I have to fight through it. I think in a sense it's coddling you when you can set yourself up for success, right? But if you know that you have food in there and you know right off the bat, if it's there, you're going to eat it anyway, then yeah, that's kind of coddling in a sense. I'm taking away the food so I don't get impulsive. So hit this situation head on, face the issue, deal with it accordingly. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so I start tomorrow and I have company tomorrow. I don't like being on a fast and having company. That bothers me, but I'm gung-ho about this. And because the company is going to eat in front of me and things of that nature, and I have to cook
It's my niece that's coming over. I have to cook for her breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I do not like that because it is temptation. But because I am so gun-ho on getting started, I can fight through that. I can fight through that. And I'm just ready to get to the part where I am not drinking water or eating. That's what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to get there because I do not like liquids fasting. It just makes you hungry. It just makes you frustrated. Dry fasting is so much easier. It's so much easier. So anyway, that's that. All right, there's my schedule. Today is, I upload this on the same day. I upload these every day on the same day. Okay.